Hey, so I think we're getting close to the big bounce. Now this is what I was expecting. Hey, I think we're getting close to the bullish reversal. So let me show you what I mean. Now the reason why I haven't gotten in, I didn't know it was going to dump 5% on BTC, 10% on Ethereum. I was thinking it would dump maybe 2 or 3% on BTC, 5 or 6% on Ethereum. I didn't expect a 10% dump on Ethereum and a 5% dump on Bitcoin. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. That's why I waited to get in, because I just wasn't sure, right? I knew that we were going to go down. I knew we weren't ready to bounce yet. So I was staying out of the market until I had confirmation. Let me give you an example why, so you can see my thinking. Let's look at Bitcoin, for example, right? I think this hourly candle we're on right now might be the last bearish candle. There's a very good possibility in 20 minutes from now, when this red candle ends, we will see a green candle, and this stoke, which is now bottoming out and it's reversing, will turn up. Now let me just quickly show you this last bottom right here, right? This, look where I'm highlighting with my finger. That last candle looked like it was a good bullish bounce, but I still didn't get in. Why? Well, we never get back above this horizontal resistance, right? This horizontal resistance at like 49.5, 49.6. It never got above that. So I didn't have a lot of support underneath it. So my logic is, when you get that bounce and you're seeing the reversal, like the reversal on the hourly stoke here, the 4 hour hadn't really been confirmed bullish at that point, right? So I knew we would get a bounce, but I didn't know how big of a bounce. And I knew we would get another correction, and I didn't know how big of a correction. So I stayed out to wait because I didn't have confirmation. Now, on that last hourly pump, if we had broken up, right, and gotten back on this one right here, so from this bottom up to here, that horizontal resistance, if we broke above that and maybe hit the 55 EMA and got above that potentially, that would have been like, all right, you know what? We had a substantial bounce. We've built up enough support below that bounce. There's a really high probability it'll continue as the 4 hour model and the daily model get that bullish confirmation. Because once those trends start, there's something like an 80-85% probability that we continue upward. But you need to have that support underneath it to facilitate that trend, right? So until I have confirmation, I don't want to get in. Since I'm thinking that this might be that last hourly candle before the bullish reversal, you would think I want to get in now, since we're pretty much at the prior bottom. Because look, I mean, Bitcoin was right at this lower level right here, about 47K. It's pretty much at the exact same support level. I could actually draw. I could drop a horizontal line right there, and you'll see, whoops. So you see, you had that bounce on that last dump, and now this dump we're holding right there. Something else to look at, if you look at different charts, you might see other areas where you have similar strong support. So right now, for instance, on Ethereum, I can see one thing, spot it with the naked eye right here. We got a trend line forming, right? Boom. So now we have a trend line support on the hourly of Ethereum. Let's look at the 4 hour. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at the 4 hour. Right on the top of the Ichimoku cloud. Now, the Ichimoku cloud, specifically the top of the Ichimoku cloud, especially when you're in a bullish trend or you're starting a bullish trend, is an incredibly powerful support. It's part of my Ichima model, where I use the 3 EMAs and the Ichimoku cloud. Now, the top and the bottom of the cloud are strong support and resistance, and in this case, it's providing strong support. We also have that trend line support with 3 points of contact, boom, boom, boom. So this is actually looking really good. This looks like a high probability bounce zone. We have the stoke turning up on the 4 hour. We have the stoke bottoming out and turning up on the hourly. Now, we haven't gotten that confirmation where the stoke actually turns up. So if I were to buy right now, it would be what's called trying to catch knives, right? You're trying to knife catch and catch the exact bottom of that dump. So buying right now is really risky because there's a relatively decent probability that you can continue downward at least a little bit further. It's not uncommon to get a final dump before you get the big bounce into the recovery bull cycle, right? So in this particular case, this candle right here might just be that final dump holding its support. I might be able to enter right here. You know what? It might not be a bad idea if it's low enough risk. So I could theoretically enter Ethereum, place a stop loss about 2% below my entry. My stop loss would be below, so it would be right around here, like 3,600. So my stop loss would be below my trend line that I just drew. Let's look at the 4 hour. my stop loss would be nicely below the top of the cloud. Now, I'd like to have my stop loss all the way down here below that 90 EMA too, the blue line, because if the top of the cloud fails briefly, we might get a quick wick to the 99 EMA before a big bounce. That's fairly common. So I can't do that in this case because then my stop loss would be like 4.5% below my entry. So I think what I might actually do here, I think overall, entering all the alts and entering a bunch of other trades and putting all of my capital in play, I'm going to wait. But I might get into this one trade now, because this one trade actually has a really great support. And if my model holds, it's going to be an incredible precision entry where I got in right at the bottom. That's not a bad idea. I might do that. Let me see what the lower time frames look like. Even the 15-minute is getting pretty low on the Stochastic. It looks like she wants to bounce right here. If that 15-minute starts, right, 1 minute and 45 seconds, this candle ends, the next 15-minute candle, if that gives us a bounce, that could start the bullish reversal on the hourly. That means this candle picks back up. We end up with sort of a, well, I guess it wouldn't be a doji because we haven't had the high, but it could be a bullish reversal candle. And then 16 minutes, one more 15-minute candle that's green, runs into the next hourly candle, and that next hourly candle is a big green bounce. It's very, very possible that happens. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the risk on this one trade. I'm only going to open my Ethereum trade here. I'm not going to get into the other alts yet. If we do get the bounce, then I'm going to wait for confirmation. And once we get a little bit of a bounce going and I have more confidence that it's really, this is it, we're really bouncing, we're seeing the various time frames and the stochastic oscillators on my model cross over into that bullish reversal pattern. Once I start seeing all those signals, then I can get into the other trades. And in the meantime, I can just get into Ethereum, so at least I'll make money on that initial bounce, assuming I'm right. And if I get that confirmation, I'm going to pre-plan which alts I want to get into. So I've already been tracking OMG, Link, Neo, VET, VTA.